So, good morning, good night, good evening, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to
Good
another.
afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon. Yes. Welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I have the band Species with me. They're a technical thrash metal band, and they have their second album that released on 20 Bucks Pink on September 2019. It's called Changelings, and I have the whole band here with me. So first of all, guys, how are you? You guys are in Poland, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
correct.
We're staying from Poland. We're doing really well, even though the weather is not really good here. It's pretty cold. But aside from that, I think we're doing quite all right.
Okay. So first of all, tell us your name and what you do in the band.
All right. So maybe I'll start. I'm Peter, but everybody calls me Satan, and I play the bass and I sing.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm Michael.
So I'm
And, there you go. Okay, go on.
so I'm Samek. You can call me Hagrid, and I play drums.
I can call you who? Hogwarts?
Hagrid, like
Ah.
the character from this famous book.
Oh, okay, awesome.
And I'm Mike, and I play the guitar.
And can I call you Lucifer?
Yeah. So
Why
we have
would
a
you-
full
Because
we have a full group then.
yeah,
I don't have any stupid name like that. I just yeah
you're the serious one, Michael. So
yeah.
yeah, but I wonder, like Peter, why do they call you Satan?
Oh, it's a long story. I come from a very small town, and it was very unpopular to listen to metal, have long hair for guys and stuff like that. So basically, they give you two options when you are in a small town and you look like that. They either call you Satan or Jesus, and they just like picked the darker version because I was wearing black clothes all the time and then listening to metal, and stuff like that. So this is where it started. But also as a kid, I was a very rough kid, and I caused a lot of trouble. So it kind of like fit together. Now I'm very nice. Now I don't cause any trouble. But as a kid, I was like a little bit more like chaotic. So maybe that's why it stuck. But I've been using the nickname for I don't know, like the past 20 years or something, and I just got used to it.
Yeah, you kind of look more like a Jesus to me, but
All right, I hope it. I hope it brings like very warm feelings with this thought. Yeah, but it's just a nickname.
nickname. Okay, so yes, so the new album Changelings is out. It just came out a few weeks ago. So tell us a little bit about how you guys got together.
Well, I met the guys at I met Peter actually at a show here in Warsaw in 2018, I think that was. And it's funny because it was actually a post-punk show, but we met through some mutual friends, and we were just like standing in a group of people, and he happened to have a King Crimson shirt, and we ended up talking about music, and we ended up talking about like metal music. And he said that basically he has a friend who's a drummer, and he himself is a bass player, and he also sings, and they don't have a guitarist, and they're jamming some stuff. They're doing like trying to do some like kind of crazy weird technical thrash kind of music, and he started listing all these bands, and I'm like, okay, I quite like that. So let's maybe try. Let's maybe see if we can work something out. And basically, we met, and we immediately started playing, stuff. I just asked them to show me what they already have, and they had a couple riffs for like a few songs, and we just immediately started writing music, and it was like that's totally what I want to play. So
Yeah, and before Peter met Michael at this party in 2018 in September or October. Before that, me and Peter, we had known each other for uh, more or less like 5 or 6 years, because we used to play in our
Did we lose him?
own
Yeah, I think.
bands and our and I moved to Warsaw in 2017, and Peter 1 year later in 2018, when I learned that he's moving to Warsaw. We met, we jumped some, and we decided to make a band together. Because we always like we were meeting here and there at the festivals or concerts, and we were discussing music, and we always knew that we are on the same page regarding what kind of music we want to play.
Awesome. So yeah, I heard a lot of like boy band and like those type of thrash bands. But what bands really influence you guys?
Well, to start, one of my biggest influences, like ever, from like the early days, would be like Slayer and then Metallica. When I heard the playing of Cliff Burton, that actually got me into playing bass. But later, as I discovered more and more, there were like more technical bands like Forbidden, Risk, Zentrix, and then I discovered. I think the two biggest influences when it comes to those technical progressive thrash metal bands will be Toxic and Aspid. You know, those two names, I think they shoot me the most. And actually, Aspid is the name I mentioned to Michał when we met for the first time, and his eyes lit up. You know, so it was like, it was the keyword that actually I think got the band together. You know, so that would be my inspiration when it comes to thrash metal. But I
Mhm.
also listen to a lot of progressive stuff. You know, I think the first prog rock band I ever really liked was Kansas. That actually got me into progressive rock, and then it was a little bit of Yes, a little bit of Rush, a lot of King Crimson. But I think I also get inspired with a lot of stuff which is actually from outside of metal music. From like funky bands of like 70s and 80s and such. And I don't know, sometimes you hear something interesting on the radio, and it still somehow influences you. Yeah. So that's my take on that.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll go now. So in my case, I come from a little bit of a different background. I mean, I listen to a lot of like technical thrash and stuff, but I was I'm more of a death metal guy actually, and I'm really really into like technical death metal, especially the stuff from the 90s. Like one of my all-time favorite bands is like Nocturnus, and I mean, especially their second album, Thresholds, is like a masterpiece to me. I mean, I can listen to that all the time, and I bet that there are some obvious parts on this new album that are really inspired by that record, and I can admit to that. But other than that, I've always been into bands that kind of push the boundaries of whatever music they were making. So you had with bands like Death or Corona, or it's kind of funny because you mentioned Voivod, but that's actually a band that I don't think that any one of us was ever like really really into, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've listened to a few records from them, and I think I only have one record from them, which is Nothing Face, and I like that album. But I've never really, I've seen them live once as well, but they've never been a major inspiration for me. Like I said, it's more about bands like, yeah, Death, Nocturnus, Atheist, Cynic, all that kind of stuff, Pestilence, yeah, the 90s stuff, and yeah, technical thrash metal as well. So all these Toxic and Aspid and Watchtower and everything. But I really like, everything from synth pop, new wave, post punk, prog rock. I like the 80s kind of prog rock, the more radio friendly prog rock from the when Genesis or Yes or Rush started making these more catchy tunes for the radio, that were really really cool. So yeah, and movie scores, soundtracks. I'm really really into that. So I guess you can also hear that on the album, I think.
Yes, I think, yeah, I could hear those influences as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the themes on the album on Changelings. What are some of the themes that you cover on this album?
Well, a lot of this stuff, conveys the nature of humanity, of us as a species, but also like the mental aspects of everything that's going on inside of a human being, on a micro and a macro scale. So I would start off with this thing. Every song kind of like somehow connects with those themes connected with humanity, but it also shows how much everything changes from time to time, from perspective. And that's why I think we went with the name Changelings, to just display the very mobile nature of humanity. But also, there is a lot of stuff from things we really like. There's lots of sci-fi. I'm a huge fan of science fiction, especially science fiction games and such. And I got inspired by a lot of like those things that happened in the movies, like Stanley Kubrick's Space Odyssey, or there was like this favorite game of mine of all time called Deus Ex, which kind of like inspired the song on the previous album. And like it shows like the humanity from a perspective of like space exploration, or combining humanity with computers, and now we have the age of AI, so it's interesting to see where we're gonna go from here, so this is kind of like what's thematically there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, interesting. And it's seven tracks, 40 minutes in length. So it flies by pretty quickly.
Right.
But yeah, and also the bass sound on this album is pretty cool. So yeah, kudos to that, because the bass is prominent in some of the tracks.
The dude is Prime's fan, so
it's true. Yeah, I love Primus, and yeah, it kind of got me into slap bass, so probably this also made me try to push the bass a little bit more into the front of the mix.
Okay, so how would you guys say that this Changeling is an evolution from the first album? What has changed?
Well, there are certain similarities. I will start with that because we have an instrumental track. We have some synths. We have we have a closing 10-minute long ass track that's just a lot of riffs and different weird changes and stuff that doesn't repeat, basically. But I think that we kind of, at least I hope so, that we managed to probably incorporate a little bit more of, different influences from all these subgenres and all these kinds of music that we were talking about, like whether it's prog rock or the dreamlike atmosphere in some of the parts that are more like soundtrack inspired, for example, like the instrumental song here. So I think that we managed to blend these things a little bit better, and that's probably the main difference in here. Obviously, the production I think has improved certainly. Definitely, you can hear everything a little bit better on this record than on the previous one, and we are much closer to how we actually sound, I believe, because we recorded mostly with the same equipment that we use usually. So, and we were also better prepared for this album. We tested a lot of different ideas that we had before actually recording this. So, yeah.
And maybe because you guys have been a band for a little bit longer, you guys are gelling with each other. Maybe that's why you can hear some improvements. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that closing track, but I wanted to talk about the song with the video, the S, because that's a funny music video. And you guys are wearing like Hawaiian shirts, and it's like, tell me about that music video.
Well, we actually wear
Well,
Hawaiian shirts when we play, so when we do live shows, so I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of a thing that we do normally. We just wanted to kind of have this vibe of like an old 70s like radio or TV studio type of video. That's why it's in, in that specific aspect ratio and with that VHS type of filter that's there. And also you have the presenter who's announcing us, and yeah, and all these weird effects. um
Yeah. It reminded me of that In Bloom video by Nirvana, only that it was in black and white and it was like in another era. But that type of video where like, here's the guy, the band, and you guys play. But it's a cool video and it's a cool song.
Oh,
Why did you pick that one for the single?
well, that's the shortest one, so
Yeah.
it's fits the notion of a single. So it's short and like kind of catchy. Actually, I'd say that this is the most like it's it's the when in terms of a song, as you think of it, like a song, like on the radio, that it has a certain structure that is kind of easy for average person. This song really fits the bill, in my opinion. So it's like the most songish song of all, I'd say. So that's why we picked it, and it's second track on the album. So you don't pick the first one, you don't pick the longest one. You don't show all the cards right away with the first single. So yeah.
That
yeah.
makes
So
sense.
that's the thing, and I think like that. Apart from it being, the most radio friendly, I also think that this song also presents something we never did before. Is like we have when you have like the main part of the song, there's like a lot of released chords with a lot of space and singing in between. That was the first time we did a song like that. Yeah, so it was also for us a chance to show to the enders that hey, we're still experimenting, we're trying new things, and we also thought that it's gonna be cool, just like um do it with a music video. Yeah, we didn't know if there was like an adequate way to try to do some visuals or anything like that. It wouldn't be us. Yeah, we wanted to do something like more down to earth, but we really like 70s stuff. So a lot of 70s music videos, just like the boys mentioned. Yeah, we're kind of like that. I think my main inspiration was Sales of Charon from Scorpions. They had that kind of music video. But if you look deep enough, Paranoid from Black Sabbath also have something similar, and we said like, hey, let's try to do something like that. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out.
Yeah, no, it's a cool video. I'll share the link for people who haven't seen the music video. Watch that music video. So the recording process for this, how was the recording process for this album?
Long. Pretty
Yeah.
long. Yeah, I mean, it started, the way we usually record stuff is, I mean, so far we only have 2 records, right? But the way we do it is usually that we recorded drums, and then after that we already had obviously everything written, but we were kind of working on our parts. I mean, me and Peter, we were working on our parts, to kind of match all the little things that were done on the drums, like all the fills, all the different kind of touches that were added in the studio, so that we could also, like when I was writing the second guitar parts, because I'm the sole guitarist, but there's obviously there's more than one guitar on the album. So I was just kind of making arrangements in that. So that usually takes some time. So we had this kind of break, if you can call it, after recording the drums, and then we recorded the guitar, the bass, and vocals, and everything else. So that's why it took some time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense that it took some time for that. So I want to
But
show
I just wanted to mention that we worked with great great people throughout the whole recording process. You know, the producer, Philip. I mean, he really. I mean, I was recording the guitars with him, and basically, if he really helped me a lot with a lot of things that he was like, yeah, you can do that better, or you know, you can try playing it in a different place. You know, it was the first time when I was really recording with someone that really challenged me, you know, so it was kind of challenging for sure.
Yeah, same goes with drums, because we recorded drums in a different studio, and Tomek, the guy from Nebula Studio, he's also a great drummer and great producer and sound engineer. And like Mike said, and Philip helped Mike to to be better on the record. Same went with Tomek and me during the drums recording session.
Okay, yeah, awesome. So yeah, it sounds like even though it was a long process, you guys, it paid off in the sound of the record. So I want to show the artwork of the album so we can talk a little bit about the artwork of the album, which is pretty cool, and it goes well with the sci-fi theme. So okay, here's the artwork. So tell me a little bit about what you guys were going for with the artwork.
Well, it's the same artist
go.
that we asked to work with, you know, with as when it comes to the first recording, you know. We went to the same artist because we love the first artwork so much, and we kind of got inspired by, you know, the cover art from our favorite artists from both like 90s and 80s, but also 70s, you know. A lot of like old school progressive rock cover art is, you know, psychedelic, tries to you know, whatever that was. Yeah, it tried to you know, they try to portray a lot of themes at the same time. They try to mix it up in some like of this, like, you know, I would call it narcotic haze, you know, to try to reflect what was going on in their minds, maybe in their music, I don't know. But here it also was like, you know, as with the as it was with the first album, you know, here we try to incorporate, you know, a couple of things that happen in some of our songs. And I think like the biggest part of it is the waves of time. I think like it refers to this song the most, but there's, you know, a little bit of everything, you know, in this cover.
Yeah, no, it's a cool album artwork. It looks very sci-fi, and I think it really goes with the music. And I like how you guys put the Species logo.
Yeah, we were consulting this with the artist. I mean, the Alexandra, that's her name. She's really a great artist, and we worked with her on the previous album, and with this one, we basically, it was the same process. I mean, we just sent her some of the music that we already had, and then the lyrics to the album that we had written, and she just, you know, came up with this beautiful piece, you know. Which, I mean, just blew our minds really. And like I said, like Piotrek said, actually, definitely inspired by, you know, psychedelic rock, kind of prog rock, some weird technical death or thrash metal, you know, old school stuff. So definitely cool.
Definitely, yeah, no, it definitely shows, and it looks cool. And I wonder, did you guys ever see that 90s movie called Species?
Of course, I have it on DVD. Yeah, I've even seen some of the sequels. It's a great movie.
But I didn't. I know it's there, but I never had the chance to watch it. So maybe one day we will have to do it, just like one long session.
It's great. Yeah. I love 90s, you know, sci-fi with some cheesy CGI effects. It's great.
That first movie, I only saw the first movie. Basically, without giving too much spoiler, it's about an alien disguised as a human who wants to have sex with you and kill you.
Yeah.
That's the plot of the movie.
Rest in peace to Michael Madsen, by the way, who had a great,
yeah.
great, yeah, he had a great part in that movie.
Yeah, Yeah, Michael Madsen was in that movie. Also, Alfred Molina, Doctor
Yeah,
Octopus.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
So yeah, so you guys are, you know, the album's out now. People can order it on $20 Ping. Are you guys playing some shows soon?
Uh, we're in the process of planning the shows, both in Poland and abroad. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a couple shows coming in Poland right now. We actually have a show tomorrow. I mean, it's as we're recording it. Yeah, we're playing tomorrow in Poland here, but we're working on it.
Yeah. So when people see this, that show already passed.
Probably, yeah.
You missed it, but yeah, like, but they can follow you on the Instagram socials so they can know what's next for Species. So before I let you go, I want to talk about the last track on the record. Because that last track, Biological Masterpiece, you know, that 10-minute epic song. Tell me a little bit about that song, because that's a great way to finish an album.
Well, maybe we can start with what the theme is. You know, it's basically about a very old race of aliens who were so advanced that they even considered, biological manipulation to be a form of art. Just like we sculpt things, they thought that they can also do it with some organisms, And the idea of the song is that we, humanity, is a form of like art made by those aliens. We got planted here on Earth, and this is basically it, to make a long story short. Yeah. And it kind of like tells the story of just, them like planning this and then doing this and, conquering the stars and everything. Yeah, it's kind of like an epic journey through space and also through history.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so imagine like there you go.
Yeah, just wanted to mention that our first record, To Find Deliverance, we finished the record with a like 11-minute song, Ex Machina, and I think before composing the Biological Masterpiece, we already knew that we want to end the second album with a long song as well. So we did Biological Masterpiece.
Yeah, I don't know if this is something that we're always gonna do. So we did it so far twice, but I don't know how about the next record. But basically, this is, yeah, you can treat this track as kind of an epic, yeah, sci-fi horror type of movie. Basically, that's pretty long and that has very different kind of weird dreamlike parts in there scattered all over the place, with the proggy section somewhere towards the end, then the ending, the epic ending, or that slower part somewhere in the middle of the song or whatever. So there's a lot going on. Actually, we it took some time to write that song, and it might seem like it's just a big pile of riffs stitched together, but I don't really. I mean, it kind of seemed to us like that at the first, at first, but as we got to play it a little bit more and we got to like think about some transitions from these parts that I just mentioned, on the track, I think it actually makes quite a lot of sense. Yeah, and given that there's the story to it, it's like I said, it's just like a big, dreamy, epic. And most of the songs, actually, from at least musical perspective, they have so much thrown into them and so many weird, not only tempo changes, but just plain mood changes in there, that it's kind of like in a dream. So that's definitely an influence, at least for me, from a compositional point of view. Yeah.
Yeah. And like the story, like Peter was saying, it reminded me a little bit about the story of Prometheus. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Kind of something like that, yeah. But I believe that, because we always compose first and then I write the lyrics second, and I believe that there's always a story hidden in music, in the sounds itself. And whenever I feel the vibe of what the melody is trying to portray, then I'm trying to find the adequate words, to try to portray this. And I think that's why, even without the lyrics, I believe that people would still kind of get there is a story, like it's trying to give you certain emotions, and we experience art through emotions, whether it's like music, movies, games, visual arts, whatever. Yeah, we feel stuff first. Yeah, and I believe that we have some thoughts, memories, imaginations connected to those emotions, and that's how we can imagine certain stories. That's why I think that one of the best instrumental songs, they can still give you a sense of going through a story, and what I'm trying to do is just like put adequate words to it. Yeah,
makes total sense. So guys, it's been great chatting with you about Changeling. So Culture Species Changeling is out now on $20 ping. I'll post the link for people who want to order it, like the vinyl, the CDs, whatever. So before I let you guys go, anything you like to say to the Couchers before we go?
I would like to say that you are a very chill dude, actually. Yes.
Yes.
And you're sitting on the couch.
Yes, it would be weird if I was like not chill at all.
Yeah, you'd be standing and angry.
Yeah, but our message to people is stay open-minded, enjoy whatever comes your way, and have wonderful lives.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, thanks for checking out our music.
Yeah.
Yeah. The drummer is a man of few words, but he's got great words when he says them.
Yeah, he speaks with his hands, and then he means every word. So
every word.
Don't get fooled.
Yeah. So Couchers, if you like technical thrash metal that deals with sci-fi and stuff, Species is a newer band that you can check out. And if you like all the bands that we've been discussing, you will dig it. So I want to thank you guys for taking time of your day there in Poland to meet with me and talk about, the album and other stuff. So yeah, so I'll post the link for people. And so, and there's cool bands in Poland, not just Behemoth. Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. And I see you guys, though, are not getting haircut in his place because, he's got that haircut. He's got a haircut place where
not our thing. Yeah,
no,
but when you look at this like black death metal scene in Poland, a lot of people get this haircut, but we're kind of like a different type of people, and I believe, just like you mentioned, there's lots of cool bands, especially in the underground. It's it's super lively. There's so many great talented people. So if you have a chance, check out Polish underground metal music because it's super powerful.
Hell yeah.
And different styles. So again, thank you guys for meeting with me. So Couchers.
Thanks, man.
Changelings out now. So until next time, Couchers, he's Hector.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot, dude.
The Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you.